Tonight on KGW News, a different kind of beer run when a stolen Bud Light truck crashes right into the officers trying to stop it. Plus,
he said, I'm an immigration officer. I give you two options.
New tonight, hear from a 7-Eleven clerk who says a man posed as an ICE agent then tried to rob his store. Also new at 11, Portlanders show up to support immigrant friends and neighbors as the Supreme Court takes up the president's push to end birthright citizenship.
I mean, it's definitely scary because, you grow up thinking of yourself as an American citizen.
And later,
booster ignition and liftoff.
Checking in on the crew of the Artemis II as they begin their journey on a historic mission around the moon. Good evening. And first at 11, a man police say posed as an ICE agent that tried to rob a convenience store clerk is now under arrest. We're glad you're with us tonight. I'm David Molko. Catherine Cook spoke with that clerk. And Catherine, it sounds like this was pretty terrifying.
He says it was scary on two different levels, David. First, simply facing an armed man at work. And second, the idea that he would hurt his immigrant family.
Be safe, that's it.
Yeah. Be safe. It's what Tone Nguyen tells himself every day he works at this 7-Eleven on Southeast 92nd and Division. Early Sunday morning, when a couple guys walked in, those words,
be safe,
came rushing back.
I feel it when they came inside, they're gonna be the problem.
As court documents lay out, Nguyen told police one of the guys walked up to the counter, pretended to work for ICE, and tried to rob him. He had a gun and flashed a fake badge.
He said, I'm an immigration officer. I give you two options. You give me $20 or $50, or do you want to lose your family? I said, I don't have no money. And then he told me, I will be back and I'm going to shoot you.
After he left, Nguyen called police, who were there within a minute. Police found the suspect about a mile and a half away near Southeast 84th and Stevens. They arrested 19-year-old Mason Clark. Later, they found an airsoft gun they say Clark told them he had dumped. They also found a transit card with a faded police badge sticker.
I'm so glad they came in the right time and that they catch them.
Nguyen says he's also glad his family is safe. He's worked here for 5 years to support them. He's proud of that.
The war is not safe, Just protect your family, just protect yourself.
Clark faces 2 charges, attempted theft by extortion and bias crime in the second degree. David.
Catherine Cook in the newsroom there. Thanks, Catherine.
Never in the history of warfare has an enemy suffered such clear and devastating large-scale losses in a matter of weeks.
President Trump there addressing the nation on the war in Iran during prime time tonight, saying the U.S. has significantly crippled the Iranian regime and denied them their ability to build, in his words, a nuclear bomb. While the president stopped short of declaring victory or laying out a big picture strategy, he called the mission, quote, nearly complete. The president said Iran's navy's been absolutely destroyed and added most of their leaders are dead. And Tehran's ability to launch missiles and drones has now been curtailed. High gas prices, yes, also came up. But the president saying the U.S. does not need Iranian oil and blaming the regime for the price at the pump.
This short-term increase has been entirely the result of the Iranian regime launching deranged terror attacks against commercial oil tankers in neighboring countries that have nothing to do with the conflict. This is yet more proof that Iran can never be trusted with nuclear weapons. They will use them, and they will use them quickly.
The president pushing America's allies to take control of the Strait of Hormuz and says he will have achieved most of his objective in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Now, 13 U.S. service members have been killed and more than 300 injured since strikes began over a month ago. Developing tonight, the Supreme Court is debating President Trump's attempt to end birthright citizenship. The justices hearing oral arguments today from an attorney for the administration, with Trump becoming the first sitting U.S. president in history to attend a Supreme Court hearing himself. Alma McCarty caught up with immigrants and advocates in Portland tonight. Alma.
Yeah, David, they are hopeful that the Supreme Court strikes down the executive order the president signed on the first day of his second term. It would deny citizenship to babies born in the U.S. to parents without legal or permanent legal status. Even conservative justices today seemed skeptical about the change.
Inside Augustana Lutheran Church, a rally and celebration of immigrants in Oregon.
I feel like in times like this, joy is so important to remind us of what we're fighting for.
Jay Amechi says her parents came here from Jamaica shortly before she was born.
My story is a very common story. There's so many people who are the child of immigrants and their parents came here to make a better life for themselves.
Children like her, born after President Trump's executive order was issued, could lose what she calls the privilege of American citizenship.
Today it's birthright citizenship. Tomorrow it's something else. Yesterday it was something else. And it just feels like we're having all of these issues compounded onto us.
Wednesday, an attorney for the Trump administration argued the 14th Amendment of the Constitution was intended to apply to children of freed slaves, not immigrants in the country illegally.
Unlike the newly freed slaves, those visitors lack direct and immediate allegiance to the United States.
But a majority of the Supreme Court justices appeared skeptical of how the change would work in the real world.
I don't think the Supreme Court is going to do something so dumb or reckless, and so it is unfortunate we're wasting time and resources on this case.
Cameron Whitten, founder of Brown Hope, organized Wednesday's event and says in this nation of immigrants, he hopes the Supreme Court upholds this right.
I have hope that the right decision will happen and will demonstrate that birthright citizenship is important, and we should continue to be the inclusive nation that we strive to be.
As they await the court's ruling later this summer, organizers and advocates are looking ahead to May Day, showing the importance of immigrants with a boycott. No school, no work, no spending.
We're recommitting ourselves. So there's no time to rest, no time to be weary. We have to all come together, love each other, but then let's look for the vision of who we are supposed to be.
Again, a ruling in this case isn't expected until the end of June. David?
Thank you, Walma. Well, meanwhile, some doctors are warning about the real-world impacts if birthright citizenship ends or is modified. Right now, when a baby is born in the U.S., regardless of their mother's status, hospitals begin paperwork for a birth certificate, social security number, and health coverage. That immediate process allows families to schedule newborn follow-up care, which is crucial in their first year. But without citizenship, options could disappear.
Many of them might not be eligible for programs to provide health care. They would not be eligible for Medicaid. And it's important that the children get the care that they need.
Statistics right now show Medicaid covers over 40% of all U.S. births. Taking a live look over Portland on this Wednesday night with some showers still out there. Chief Meteorologist Matt Spino has a look at how long that rain will be sticking around. Hey there, Matt.
Hey, thanks, David. Yeah, they're picking up right now, but this afternoon we had that great combination of showers and sun breaks, produces double rainbow over downtown Portland. Really a beautiful, beautiful display there. Many of us saw that out the window and around town this afternoon. It was really kind of great to see. Portland right now, we've got rain showers out there. It's cooled off too at 45 degrees. The wind is kicked up 14 miles an hour, so it's a bit blustery outside at the moment. Doppler radar proves that point. These showers moving east of I-205 right now, but we're not done. There's more out over the Coast Range and offshore. So they will come and go overnight. They'll come and go through the first half of the day tomorrow, and then things will dramatically improve. Things are improving on the mountain right now if you want new snow. Look at Timberline. Good and snowy. It's down to 23 degrees. Been 5 inches new snow since precipitation began this morning, so that is certainly good news there. The roads, however, that's Government Camp. Look at Sandy Ann Pass. Just snow filling the air. Same thing down at Willamette Pass. Very snowy scene there. The winter storm warning continues for Point South. Winter weather advisory on Mount Hood. We'll talk about how much more snow is on the way. And the warm up this Easter weekend will be impressive. Might even be seeing record high temperatures, David.
Wow, that sounds pretty good. Thanks, Matt. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now, Oregon State Police are investigating a missing persons case involving a traveler who got stranded. Let's explain. Investigators say at about 9 p.m. on Saturday, Maria Linda Jade Kilmer and a passenger ran out of gas on Highway 22 near State. And according to the passenger, an unidentified driver pulled over and Kilmer got in their vehicle. She has not been seen or heard from since and left behind her belongings, including her keys, her purse, and phone. Anyone who knows where she might be should call 911 or contact Oregon State Police. Well, tonight, Oregon health officials are warning of a new measles exposure. This was on Monday at the Providence Portland Medical Center ER between 7:57 and 10:08 in the evening. Anyone who is in the waiting room again at Providence Portland in the ER during these times should contact their healthcare provider and let them know they may have been exposed to measles. New tonight, Republican leaders say they have a plan to reopen the Department of Homeland Security. Senate Majority Leader John Thune and House Speaker Mike Johnson saying today they have a two-track plan to end the shutdown. The plan would fund most of DHS until October through an appropriations bill, while funding for Customs and Border Protection would come separately. The Senate plans to take the first step toward a vote as soon as tomorrow morning. And Nike is reportedly being sued after customers' personal information was exposed. According to the Oregonian, the lawsuit filed in California alleges Nike failed to protect sensitive information and waited too long to notify customers about the data breach. The suit claims names, addresses, phone numbers, and payment information were exposed. And then when Nike discovered the breach in late January, it did not notify people for a month. The suit is seeking at least $5 million in damages. Nike reportedly declined to comment. The suspect caught on video stealing thousands of dollars worth of bikes is now headed to prison for more than 5 years. Prosecutors saying he broke into apartments and condos across Portland and sold the stolen bikes for drugs. In all, they say Daniel Gallagher stole almost $20,000 worth of bikes from multiple apartment complexes in southeast Portland and the Pearl. Gallagher was arrested in 2024 but eventually released, then arrested again in October of last year. The DA crediting the county's burglary task force for catching up.
It's really to make sure that we feel safe in our homes and that our businesses feel safe in doing business, can really experience economic vitality and without the fear of having their doors kicked in.
According to court documents, police found Gallagher with fentanyl and meth during his October arrest, and he said he would trade the bikes for drugs.